Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Sridhar Jalapati, and this video is all about discussing important interview puzzles, part 3. I'm sure you might have gone through part 1 and part 2. If not, please do watch part 1 and part 2 videos. In each, I have explained 5 important puzzles, interview point of view. And in this video, part 3, also, I'm going to explain 5 important puzzles. And do subscribe to my channel. I hope you are watching all the videos, and I hope you are gaining a lot of knowledge by watching my YouTube videos, because normally I don't want to compare with any other video, but I just want to say one thing, that in my video, if it is for half an hour or 45 minutes, you don't see any pep talk, you don't see any general talk. It's all about discussing aptitude questions and topics. So that's the reason, if you see, if it is for a 30 minutes duration, I'll be explaining 10. If it is a 45 minutes duration, I'll be explaining 15 questions. Normally other people do 5 to 6 questions explanation in 30 minutes period, but in my videos you will get to see more number of questions, more number of points, more number of models, and the video is completely about aptitude. So let's start our discussion with puzzles, part 3. And once again, I'm telling you, before watching part 3, do watch part 1 and part 2 videos. And while solving these puzzles, do not continue the video. Do not continue the video to find the solution in a stretch. Whenever you see the question, pause the video, give it an attempt. Whether you get the answer or not, then continue the video to find the solution, because these are puzzles you must try, and trying the puzzles is very important thing. You may not end up with answer, but that process will help you to improve your thinking, and ultimately that is what we want by practicing puzzles. I hope you will do that. And here is the first one. Popular puzzle. You might have seen this in school days, in your childhood. There are 9 dots which are arranged in a 3 by 3 square form. You need to connect them by using only 4 straight lines without lifting your pen from the paper. As I said, popular one. You might be knowing the question, but I'm not sure whether you remember the answer or not. So you can give it a try. That's nothing wrong. And those who want to try the question, pause the video. Yeah. Here is the solution. Now, whenever we see the question, unfortunately, we try to restrict ourselves to this square by drawing boundaries or by assuming this as a boundary. So therefore, in all the attempts, you may be ending up with something like this. Unfortunately, you have missed this connection. This is overlapping, or you have missed this connection here. So that is not the correct one. Or sometimes you may find something like this, the zigzag pattern. Now if I do like this, then this is again overlapping, which is not satisfying the condition. Or you may do something like this. Here we have used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 straight lines, but you are asked to use only 4. So therefore, assuming this as a boundary is the problem here. So that's why people always think outside the box. Think out of the box. So what I say, rather than thinking out of the box, draw out of box and then think inside it. Draw out of the box and then think inside it. Now here is the correct answer after all the attempts. So what I do, I draw like this, like this, like this, and then this. So we used how many straight lines? 4. We connected all the dots. This is straight line number 1, this is straight line number 2, this is straight line number 3, and this is straight line number 4. So we used only 4 straight line and we connected all the dots without lifting the pen. If you are not restricted with these 4 straight lines, we do have another solution. Here the things can be dots, or here if you see the cockroaches or some insects are given. Now this can also be a solution. 1, 2, 3. I've connected all by using only 3 straight lines. So if you are not given with this 4 straight lines condition, then both are solutions. Let me tell you what are the solutions. One is this, 4 straight lines. The other one is this, using only 3 straight lines. So in the both cases, we have connected all the 9 dots without lifting the paper, but this solution may not be the suitable for this question, as you are asked to use 4 straight lines. Otherwise, there are 2 solutions for this puzzle. Thank you. This is quite popular, and I've got the information that this question is asked in many interviews just to check your presence of mind and common sense when you are attending the interview. Let's move our discussion to second puzzle. Indian government announces a new scheme to buy groceries for the poor and below middle class families. Government provides rice at 1 rupee per kg in ration shops, and one family can buy a minimum of 1 kg and a maximum of 31 kg, and only integer number of kgs are allowed. So here fractions, decimals are not allowed, only integers. Minimum of 1, a maximum of 31 kg. What is the minimum number of weighing stones that ration shop dealer should have, and what are they? This is also a quite popular puzzle. Some of you might be knowing this already, and there is nothing wrong again giving a try, an attempt. So those who want to try the question, pause the video, you try, and then continue the video to check your answer. Right, here is the answer. So first of all, if you understand the question, though there is a story of groceries, government announcing a scheme, then it's about minimum of 1 kg, maximum of 31 kg, family allowing all that conditions. But the underlying story behind this, you need to get numbers from 1 to 31 using minimum numbers. You need to get numbers 1 to 31, integer numbers, using minimum. Weighing stones are nothing but the stones with numbers. So you need to have minimum stones, that is minimum numbers, to give these. So if I use 2 power 0, 2 power 1, 2 square, 2 cube, 2 power 4, that is 1, 2, 4, 8, 16. 1, 2, 4, 8, 16. Using these, I can get any number from 1 to 31. Let's see how you can get. If you want 1, then this is the only number we use. This is the only weighing stone the shopkeeper use if somebody comes to his shop and asks for 1 kg. If someone asks 5 kg, then he will use 1 and 4. 1 and 4. If someone asks, let's say 13 kg, then he will use 1, 4, 8, because sum of these is 13. If someone asks 20 kg of groceries, then he will use 16 and 4, because sum of these two is 20. If let's say someone asks 31 kg, then he will use all the numbers 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, because sum of these 5 numbers is 31. If someone asks for, let's say 23 kg, then he will use 16, 4, 2, 1, because sum of these is 23. So therefore, you can check any other number. Anything from 1 to 31 can be obtained using these 5 numbers 1, 2, 4, 8, 16. So answer, the shopkeeper require 5 weighing stones, and they are 1, 2, 4, 8, 16. Now why this is the answer here? Now the underlying concept behind this puzzle is its property of 2 powers, nothing but its property of binary digits. Now using 5 binary digits, what is the maximum decimal number you can write? If I take all ones in binary system, what is its value in decimal? Its value in decimal is, this is 2 power 0, this is 2 power 1, 2 square, 2 cube, 2 power 4. So this is 2 power 4, 16 into 1, plus 8 into 1, plus 4 into 1, plus 2 into 1, plus 1 into 1. That will give you 16 plus 8 plus 4 plus 2 plus 1, which is all is equal to 31. So the maximum number, decimal number that I can get using 5 binary digits is 31. If I take 0 here, then I will get 30. If I take 0 here, then I will get 29. If I take 0 here, then I will get 27. Something like that. So whatever the number you want, you can write using 5 binary characters. You can write any decimal number from 0 to 31, but here you are asked to find from 1 to 31. So these are the 5 8s, that is 1, 2, 4, 8, 16. Hope you understood. Now what is the application of this puzzle? If the same question is extended to, let's say, 63, if the same question is extended to 63, then you can use 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, because sum of these 6 numbers is 63. So if the question is up to 63 kg, then the shopkeeper needs 6 weighing stones, and they are these. Because using these 6 numbers, you can get anything from 1 to 63. Let's say if I increase this to 127, up to 127, then the numbers I should consider are 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32 and 64 as well, because sum of these will give you 127. And if you have these 7 numbers, you can get anything from 1 to 127. If you want, you can give a try. Any number from 1 to 127 can be obtained by using these 7 numbers. So it's completely 2 powers property, and according to the condition or limitation in the question, you can select. As it is up to 31, so we just need 1, 2, 4, 8, 16. Otherwise, accordingly, we will select 2 powers here. The question can be asked in many ways. A kirana shopkeeper with grocery shop, with the weighing stones, or some other situation, whatever, you just have to underline the concept what the question is asking for, and they can accordingly you can find the answer. So this is also a popular puzzle. People say that this is asked in Infosys interview a couple of times, and it's creating wavelets in internet as well, in most of the websites. And let's move to the third puzzle in this video. And here is the question. A person drives with constant speed, and after some time he sees a milestone with 2 digits. Then he travels for 1 hour from there, and he sees the same 2 digits in reverse order. 1 hour later, he sees that the milestone has the same 2 digits with a 0 between them. What is the speed of the car? So here people say that this is previous TCS question. It has given in the interview as well as in the written exam conducted by them to recruit fresh engineering graduate. So therefore, those who want to try this, pause the video, you find your answer, and then continue the video to check the solution. Yeah, here is the answer. He sees a milestone with 2 digits initially, but after some time, here initially not after 1 hour, initially after traveling for some time he sees a milestone. From here, exactly after 1 hour, he sees another milestone with the same 2 digits in reverse order. From there, exactly after 1 hour, he sees the same milestone with the same digits but a 0 between them. Right? So as let us go by, there are multiple methods. You can go by trial and error method, but there is no guarantee that you will end up with the correct answer if you go by trial and error, because you have to keep on checking number after the number, and that may kill your valuable time. So let us go for a general method, actual method, which will give you the answer in the first attempt itself. So as he has seen a 2-digit number initially, let the 2-digit number that he has seen on the first milestone be xy. From here, after traveling for 1 hour, he sees a milestone with the digits in the form yx, another 2-digit number where the digits got reversed from the first. After traveling 1 hour from here, he sees the same milestone with a 0 between them, that is x0y, right? So here, traveling after 1 hour is nothing but this is the speed of the car. Whatever the speed of the car, that number is added to xy. Let's say if the speed of the car is s km/h, then we are adding s to xy. This has become yx. And from here we have added same speed s to yx. This has become x0y. This is the situation here. Now let us try to solve these. Pay attention. So initially xy, then the value of the number is 10x plus y. By the way, as I am assuming the speed of the car as s km/h. After some time he sees a number yx whose value is 10y plus x, because now y has become y is in tens place, x is in units place. After some time he sees x0y. Now x is in hundreds place, so 100x. 0 in tens place, so its value 0, and y in units place, its value y. So if I write the equations, this becomes something like that. initially he has seen xy, that is 10x plus y, and after adding s to this has become 10y plus x, and for this 10y plus x, after 1 hour, that is after adding the speed s, this has become 100x plus y. Now if you can solve these two equations, you will end up with the answer. Let's see how to solve. Now if I simplify the first equation, now all x terms one side, constants other side, so I am writing all xy terms one side, s on the other side, so s is equal to, if I send this 10x to the other side, minus, if I send this y to the other side, minus, so this becomes 9y minus 9x. So I can write it as 9 into y minus x, or you can keep it as 9y minus 9x. If required, we will take it common for the time being. Yeah, and similarly simplify the second equation. Second one, again s is equal to 100x minus x, 99x, y minus 10y, 9y. This is another equation. Now since both are equal to s, this 9y minus 9x is equal to s, 99x minus 9y is also equal to s. So let us try to simplify, equate these two. So on equating these two, what we get? 9y minus 9x is equal to 99x minus 9y. On further simplification, I'll be getting it as 18y is equal to 108x, 18 ones 18 6, y is equal to 6x. Now by the way, here do not forget y, x and y are the digits in the two-digit number. Now x cannot be 0 as it is in tens place. The minimum value I can give for x is 1, and if I give x as 1, y becomes 6. If I give x is equal to 2, y becomes 12, but the units place or the digit cannot be 12. So therefore the only values of x and y, 1 and 6. That means the initial milestone that he has seen is 16. After that it has become 61. After that it has become 106. Initially 16, then got reversed to 61. Then in the 16, a 0 has occurred in between them, which has become 106. So what are we adding to 16 to become 61? Plus 45. And what are we adding to 61 to become 106? Plus 45. So therefore the speed of the car is 45 km per hour. 45 km per hour. Here the first milestone he has seen is 16. The second milestone he has seen is 61. And third milestone he has seen is 106. And the speed is 45 because we are adding 45 to 16 to become 61. And we are adding 45 to 61 to become 106. So therefore the speed of the car is 45. I hope you understood. So therefore the conclusion of the question is, how do you convert this information into mathematical form, that is equations form? Here it's all about writing equations. And equations plays very vital role in aptitude. That is how to convert the theory information to mathematical form. Hope you understood this, and let's move to the next one from this video. And here is the fourth puzzle. There are 5 persons, A, B, C, D and E, and these 5 people want to cross the bridge in the night. A takes 1 minute to cross the bridge, B takes 3 minutes to cross the bridge, C takes 6 minutes to cross the bridge, D takes 8 minutes, E takes 12 minutes to cross the bridge. But there are some conditions. There is only one torch with them, and the bridge cannot be crossed without the torch. And there cannot be more than 2 persons on the bridge at any time. When 2 people are cross the bridge, they must move at the slower person's pace. So the conditions given are, at a time only maximum 2 people can go. When they are going, they must have torch with them. And when the 2 people are traveling, the time consumed by them is at the slower person's pace. Now the question is, what is the minimum time they take? What is the minimum time they take? What is the minimum time they take to cross the bridge? That is the question. You need to find the minimum time taken by them to cross the bridge. This question I have not written here, but this is what asked in this question. You are asked to find what is the minimum time that these 5 people take to cross the bridge. So those who already know the question or those who want to give a try, pause the video, find the answer, and then continue the video to check your answer. You have to satisfy all the conditions given in the question in your solution. Okay, so normally whenever you see this kind of question, you feel like using 1 every time to help the other person to cross the bridge. Let's say we will select 1 and 12 first. So if we select 1 and 12, they both together take 12 minutes, and we will drop 12 here. We'll ask 1 to come back because he takes less time, and when he comes back with the torch, he will take 1 minute again. Now we have 1, 3, 6, 8 on this side, as 1 already helped 12 to go to the other side. Next we ask 1 and 8 to travel together. When they travel together, they take slower person space, that is 8. So 1 drops 8 here and he will come back. When he comes, he takes 1 minute. Now you have 1, 3, 6 here. So we'll ask again 1 and 6 to go to the other side. When 1 and 6 travel together, they take 6 minutes. So 1 drops 6 here and asks 1 and 1 comes back to bring the lamp. And now you have 1 and 3 and both will travel together, 1 and 3, and they take 3. So you have all the 5 people on the other side of the bridge, and let us calculate what is the time they took. 12 plus 1 13 plus 8 21 22 28 29 plus 3 32. In this solution they took 32 minutes. Now we are asked to find the minimum time. This solution is fine. We helped all the 5 people to go to the other side. But here they took 32 minutes to go to the other side. Let's see what is the better way we can do. Now if you observe here, what is the error in the solution? As we have sent 12 and 8 separately, that is 12 with 1 and 8 with 1, these two only took 20 minutes of time. These two only consumed 20 minutes of time. But imagine sending these 2 people together. If I send 12 and 8 together, within 12 minutes I can help these 2 people to go to the other side. But immediately something may come to your mind, that is, if I send 12 and 8 to the other side, one of these to bring the lamp torch back so that the rest of the people can go. But now here the thing is, the logic is, when you send 12 and 8 together, you need not ask one of these to bring the torch back if you have some other person who takes less time on the other side and who already crossed the bridge before these two. What exactly I'm trying to say? We have to take 12 and 8 together, but before we send 12 and 8, if you have 1 or 3 on the other hand, you can use one of these to bring the lamp back. Let us execute that solution. Now after this clue, if any of you want to try this, pause the video. Now you can try that and then continue the video. Here is the solution. So without repeating the previous error, I am sending 1 and 3 together this time, and I'll drop 1 here and I'll ask 3 to come back. So when 1 and 3 traveled together, they took 3 minutes. As 3 returned, another 3 minutes. Now you have on the other side 1 is on the other side, 3, 6, 8, 12. 3, 6, 8, 12. So this time I'll ask 8 and 12 to travel together. So when I make 8 and 12 to travel together, they both take 12 minutes. And I'll be asking, I am not asking one of these to bring the lamp back. I'll drop both 8 and 12. As I've already won this side, I'll ask that 1 to come back with the lamp. So when 1 comes with the torch back, he require 1 minute. So now this side you have 1, 3, 6. We already dropped 8 and 12 on the other side. So as 1, 3, 6 you have, now use 1s to help all the other people. So 1 and 6 travel together. They take 6 minutes. And I'll be dropping both 1 and 6 here, and I'll ask 1 to come back. When I ask 1 to come back, 1 minute is over. Now you have 1 and 3 on this side. You can ask both 1 and 3 to travel together, and if they travel together, they will be taking 3 minutes. So now the total time is 3 plus 3, 6. plus 12 18, plus 1 19, plus 6 25, plus 1 26, plus 3 29. They took 29 minutes. They took 29 minutes. 6, 18, 19, 25, 26, 29 minutes. So this is the minimum time they take to cross the bridge. Now here, when I asked 1 and 3 to travel together, I dropped 1 and I asked 3 to come back. You can do one thing. You can drop 3 and you can ask 1 to come back. But I think still the solution comes to same 29 minutes. You can try that as well. Okay. So in this question, the logic is we have to send 8 and 12 together. And before I send 8 and 12 together, I should have someone who takes less time to bring the torch back. That's the logic. So people say that this is quite popular, and in fact this has given in CSAT 2015 as well. CSAT is nothing but Civil Services Aptitude Test. This is one of the papers in IAS, IPS, IRS, IFS entrance exam, CSAT 2015, and this question is given for 2 marks. Right? Hope you followed. And here is the last puzzle from this video, that is important interview puzzles part 3. A car has 4 tires and 1 spare tire. Each tire can travel a maximum distance of 30,000 kilometers before wearing off. What is the maximum distance the car can travel now? Here you are allowed to change the tires using the spare tire unlimited number of times, and all tires are used up to their fullest strength here. All the tires are used up to their full strength. Now those who want to give a try, pause the video, and once you get your answer, then continue the video to find your answer. Right? Here is the answer. So we have 4 tires and 1 spare tire, and each tire can travel a maximum of 30,000. So what I'm doing, I'm dividing the spare tire, the distance the spare tire can travel, into 4 equal parts. That is 30,000 by 4, which is 7,500. And for every 7,500 kilometers, I'll change one of the 4 tires with the spare tire to get the maximum distance. And to make the solution easy, I'm naming the tires. Let the tires be A, B, C, D. As we have already named the spare tire as S. So what I do, for first 7,500 kilometers, I use A, B, C, D. And after traveling for 7,500 kilometers, from this A, B, C, D, I replace A with S. I replace A with S. Now, for the next 7,500 kilometers, that is up to 15,000 kilometers, you have B, C, D and S traveling, because we replaced A after 7,500. So after 15,000 kilometers, I'll replace B with S and I'll bring the A back. I'll bring the A back. So when I bring the A back, for the next 7,500, that is up to 2,500 kilometers, I have A, C, D and spare tire traveling together, 4 tires. Now I'll replace C with S and I'll bring the B back. So for the next 7,500, that is up to 30,000 kilometers, A, B, D, S traveled. Now I'll be replacing D with S and I'm bringing C back. Now for the next 7,500 kilometers, that is 7,500, A, B, C and S traveled, because we replaced D. So the maximum distance the car can travel with these 4 tires and 1 spare tire is 37,500 kilometers. 37,500 kilometers. Now let us check whether all the tires are used up to the fullest strength or not. Now first 7,500 kilometers, A, B, C, D all are used. After that, A brought back, so another 7,500, then A here, then A here. So therefore A used 4 times, so 4 into 7,500, 30,000 kilometers. B also used 4 times, so 30,000 kilometers. C used 4 times, 30,000 kilometers. D used 4 times, 30,000 kilometers. And spare tire replaced 4 times, first with A, then with B, then with C, then with D, each time for every 7,500 kilometers. So spare tire also traveled for 30,000 kilometers. Therefore, the maximum distance the car can travel is 37,500 kilometers. Now, I have seen this question in different websites, people claiming that this is asked in exams, this is asked in interview, but in no two websites I got the same number. Here I used 30,000 kilometers. In some of the websites, in some of the questions, people saying 20,000 kilometers or 25,000 kilometers or 40,000 kilometers, whatever. Here the logic is divide the spare tire into 4 parts and add that, whatever you get, add that to the capacity of each tire, capacity of each tire plus S by 4 is the answer. For all these questions, here the answer is capacity of each tire 30,000 kilometers plus spare tire 30,000 kilometers by 4, that is 37,500 kilometers. Hope you understood. So these are another 5 important puzzles as a part of part 3, and do watch part 1 and part 2 important puzzles videos as well. And if you like my explanation, do like my video, and then for any question about any of these 5 puzzles, you can post your queries in the comment section. Do subscribe to my channel, do share these important puzzles with your friends, and if you have any interesting puzzle for which you don't have answer, you can post in the comment section. At the same time, though you know the answer, but if you feel that the puzzle is very interesting that people will come to know, then such questions also you can post. Thank you so much, and see you again in the next video with few more puzzles.